Hey there, this is the Masked Gamer, Greg, and I am back with some more ATO Cycle 4. Today we are going to be doing my first battle against the Midascore, which is one of the timeline primordials of Cycle 4. And we're going to get our ass whoop-de-doo. Let's just show some stuff here. Da, da, da. I was going to do it like this. Like I said last time, I'm not changing any of my gear. I'm just using all of the same gear and Titans and all that shizzle that I used for that first Babelian Lunacy battle because A, I don't really know what this thing's going to do yet. B, I can't be bothered. The one thing that I did do is instead of taking a backup Argo ability that had more instant movement, I took one that let me lower Ambrosia gain, just because I saw a lot of Ambrosia happening during the Babelian Lunacy. Now, I'm assuming the Midascore Dragon is not going to do a lot of that and is going to mostly do Midas, but maybe I'm wrong. So that's what I'm doing. And of course, everybody now has their Hermes grappling hooks because they have those now. Two things that do happen is at the start of the battle, um, the Returner and the Logicbreaker are both getting an Ambrosia token because of their Siren masks. And we're going to get to take a little sneak peek over here at the Obel deck for our friend the Logicbreaker. Oh, wait, no, I think we need to do some other things first. Because every single battle during story card 1, we get a random cursed trait. So we're going to take a look at what that is in case that affects start of battle in any way, shape, or form. So our cursed trait for our first battle is you will never win. Great to know. If you roll a crit miss during the attack roll, you will ignore all potentials during that attack roll. So if I roll a 1 on the white die, even if I re-roll it, even if it comes out good, none of my break tokens are going to count for squatty poo-poos. So that's going to probably suck. And our Cyclopean hand mirror tells us the future that our friend the Logicbreaker, the first time they die, will live. They will live the first time they die. So we don't really have to worry about them very much. They have an automatic you will live on there. Let's talk about some of the traits for the Midascore before we dive in. So, boom, here is our Midascore card, and here is our painted Midascore dragon. And yeah, we're ready to roll. Okay, so the Midascore does have a potential VP on its back, but it's not one of the ones that we can put our little duders on, so that's sad. It's a test of Fury 9 plus to climb onto its back. At the end of the round, you have to test Endurance 9 plus or be knocked down. When you're on the VP, you get an additional +2 automatic wounds, and you ignore the normal primordial responses on the battle part. If you wound it, it's just a simple -1, and then it does something called Imperial Impetus. And if you fail, then it's Airburst 2, and then you would have to immediately perform the hold on test. I think Airburst 2 happens to everybody around it, not to the person on it. But I'm not 100% sure. Airburst. Yeah, it's the things around it that would fall down. Okay. So at level 1, we need a 9 plus to hit. We need to do 10 wounds to it. It has Gold Taste, Shadow in the Skies, Imperial Impetus, and Incremental Payment. See card. Gold Taste is Argonauts with the Gold Thirst Curse Affliction, which luckily is none of us right now, must apply all Fate and Midas gated effects. In the Shadow of the Skies, the Midascore ignores line of sight. It ignores line of sight completely, and during movement, it does not destroy terrain tiles. So it does not destroy towers. It does not destroy buildings. It just flies around and flies around. Ooh, I forgot to do one thing instead of here. Realizing. I forgot my special location due to which Adventure Hub we read, which is there is a wish storm on the map, which looks like this, and this goes in the inner 3. And the wish storm will allow us to, once per battle, if adjacent to or on it, search it and roll a thingamabobski. So we're going to go ahead and put this somewhere. And I think the place that we're going to put it is going to be near the returner because she's got the least chance of getting a bunch of stuff later. So we're, no, but we want it to be next to somebody who can touch it right away. Um, um, let's put it next to the dawn burner because there's a chance that this dawn burner will not even need to move. Oh no, it has to be inner three, so it can't be in those spaces. It would have to be in these spaces. No, I don't like it there. Okay, we're gonna inner three, inner three, inner three. Where are we gonna put it? We're gonna put it here, and we'll let the war keeper deal with that. It is a obscuring cloud trap treasure elevated. We could potentially find a debt guard or a golden bow on it. So we are going to want to search it every time it shows up. However, if a Titan ends involuntary movement on it, they draw an obol, and if Primordial does, they place one negative AT token in the Kratos pool. So that's interesting. What does the word cloud mean? Cloud means something special, I'm pretty sure. Cloud, cloud, cloud. It's not on that page. Cloud. Cloud, 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 cloud. Cloud. This is unaffected by other elevated tiles. So this is always an obstacle. So it's always obscuring line of sight, even if you are on an elevated tile. However, the Midascore ignores line of sight. So it just completely ignores it anyway, even though it's a cloud. Okay. Finally, whew, that's a lot of stuff already. Finally, we have Imperial Impetus. Whenever this keyword triggers, the Midascore will move 8 spaces forward in a straight line. If it moves through or ends its movement on a knockdown Titan, that Titan draws an obol. And when a Titan suffers crash as a result of this movement, they additionally gain 1 Midas token. And that's going to have it running more and more around the map as it levels up. If a signature occurs, which would be bad, that would be an Auric Storm, which will cause us to lose 1 crew, and each Titan will gain 2 Midas tokens and 2 Ambrosia tokens. We'll worry about its signature when its signature triggers. It also has this ability called Incremental Painment. Painment, get it? Instead of payment, it's painment. Every time you give a wound to the Midascore, a Midas token goes on this card. Every time a Titan discards a Midas token, it also gets placed here. And after resolving the current action, if there are 5 or more Midas tokens on this card, they will be discarded. 5 of them will be discarded, and signature will trigger. And its signature is kind of, we'll talk about it a little bit, but more when it triggers. It's kind of similar to the Labyrinthoros' Trample. It like runs in a straight line and knocks everybody over. We also have a status called Impaled. If you become impaled, you will place your miniature on this card. During your turn, you can either use an attack or get free and only melee weapons. If you deal a wound while impaled, you will create a VP. If you try to get free, you will test endurance or fury of 9+, and if you succeed, you displace 1. At the end of your turn, if you started your turn impaled, you get minus 2, and then 5 plus the number of Midas tokens you have damage, and you resolve a trauma draw. So I don't know if that's going to be the only way to deal with this impalement thing, but it might be. I'm not really sure. So yeah. Ooh. I changed my mind. We are gonna put this next to our friend the Logicbreaker. And our friend the Logicbreaker is gonna end up using their special ability at the start of the fight to get a bonus turn before the primordials so that they can search the treasure before anything else wild happens. That's how I want to do this. Okay. So I forgot something in the other room. And we are going to listen to the flavor text introduction for the Midas core monster. Lots of crumbling and
Legends tell of the man-eaters, winged lions with poisonous tails and the heads of immortals. Some say they were bred with the use of unholy alchemy to serve the god kings, but you found no evidence to support these claims. Unlike the man-eater, the Midascore scoffs at the meat of men, but gorges instead on their misery. Its poison the golden curse that turns to gold anything it touches. The Midascore is wholly alien. Though its face is so mortal-like it elicits emotion, it is pure mimicry, a natural lure in the repertoire of tricks of a primordial predator. Its wings would not sustain its weight were it not for the fleshy sacs, full of counterweight gas. You do not know if the Midascore spreads the Midas curse its name derives from, or if it follows in its wake, a mere carrion eater. Or is it just another victim of infinite growth?
Who knows? We don't know. In case you missed the previous video, you can kind of see on here, it's got a human face. And it's kind of nasty. It's kind of nasty. It's nasty looking. Okay, so we are going to, at the start of the battle, we are going to use 2 Fate for the Logicbreaker to go first. And the Logicbreaker is going to use their action to search for treasure in the Wish Storm. Now, if I roll a 10 and I get the super thing right away, that would be pretty awesome. That's probably not going to happen here. He says, and then he rolls a 10. He rolls a crit. He rolls a 10. The first time he searches a wish storm, which means I can either get a progress or the debt guard card. And I am pretty sure my choice here is going to be to find and get the card called debt. So this might take a while, but I'm happy about it. That's pretty darn cool. We got the thing right away. On our first battle, on our first turn, we rolled a 10. This is the funny thing about this is in the previous cycle, like I just for the life of me, I could not get like the shells from the thing to find. And then later on I needed it to make a really, really cool item. And I just didn't have it. And it was just so very, very sad. But but this time I got it right away. So we're looking for the debt guard in here. Maybe it's in a secret pack and not in the aha, no, I found it. Debt guard. So it's a shield. Now, do I get this item right away or does it just go in my armory is the question. I mean, I have the visage, which I probably don't want to get rid of anyway, so I'm probably going to keep that. But the Death Guard has 4 um, dice to roll. You get +4 to hit. They're red dice with +1 wound if you roll it. You can, if your Midas is 3 or higher, you can spend an Ambrosia and a Fate when you're about to gain Midas tokens to lower that gain to 1. This has Hope 2, Closing 2, Assist 2. You can use it and gain a Midas token to do Hermes Reflex. I don't even know what that means yet. You can also use it to block 1. I need to see what some of these other symbols on this card are because I just don't know. Um, it's got a bunch of funky little stuff on it that I wasn't ready for. Let's see here. That's endless staircase things. You can place 1 additional Midas token on here before it becomes aurified, is what that symbol on the right means. Um, Costs on gear. Oh, yes. And we see this. It means you must gain 1 Midas token to do it. I don't know what this other symbol is. I'm assuming that means you have to gain 1 ambrosia, but I'm not 100% sure. Hmm. So many rules already. Midas sets, Moiros. I don't know what this symbol is. Um, I'm gonna try to scan these other books really quick and see if I can figure this out. Costs. 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 Cost. Is this in here? No. Maybe it's this book. Sorry, y'all. This is what happens. That is the symbol for ambrosia. So I'm assuming that means I have to gain 1 ambrosia to lower the Midas game. And this is going to be one of my questions that I'm going to ask later. Now, the thing is, I could. Oh, it's on the back. It says eternal debt is worth than death. And this comes from a technology later on, so I could have gotten this later, it seems. But I went ahead and I took the debt guard now. So this would have been the Logicbreaker. I don't want to give it to him instead of the Visage, because the Visage is also minus immune and gives me some black dice. So we're just gonna put this over on our list of our list, our set of items and weapons and stuff that we have. Yeah, I'm just gonna put this over here with our stuff. But I got it, which is cool. Then I get to move. So I'm not in line of sight of it right now, but I think I want to be. I don't know what way it's going to go. It's probably going to attack me anyway. And I don't want it to run far away from everyone else if it does. So I'm just going to use my movement to try to climb on this Irem tower here, which is a Fury 5+ roll. Oops, and I rolled a 6. I'm not going to put that on camera. So I am up on top of here. And I didn't move yet, so I could technically use a Hermes move 1 to just pop over to here, but I'm not going to do that. I want to stay where I am for now. And that's it for Amorphos for this turn. But that's cool. I got a cool item. I did a thing. All this stuff happened, and now we're going to see what the Midas core does. And their first move is going to be a Horn Pierce. So um, this is going to work the same either way. It would have been priority target, which should have been our Logicbreaker. Should have started with that token. I don't even know where that token is. Oh, it's over here. So it will be the Logicbreaker. Otherwise, it would have gone for the furthest Titan in sight. It is going to move and attack if my fate is 4 or higher, which it is. That kind of reminds me of my friend in the star, and I get to lose one fate for this moment in time. That was my one time for this session, but it avoided that extra die. I need an 11 plus to evade, which is just not going to happen. It's going to give me -1. Each hit is going to deal 4 damage. With 2 or more hits, I will be impaled. And if I don't get impaled, I get knocked down. And then after that, it's going to do the Imperial Impetus thing. So that's a whole bunch of horrible stuff right away. But what's going to happen here is it's going to go 1, 2, 2, 2, and it is going to attack me for 2 dice with an 11 plus. Now, I don't get anything extra to my evasion, which is very sad, but I don't get anything special to my evasion, which is sad. But I could technically use a block potentially on one of these to stop the impaling from happening, which I do need to do because on my next turn I'm not even going to get a action because I used it to search the thing. So I really do need to do that. But all right, here we go. We have rolled a 1 for a crit miss evade and a 5. I don't get any free rerolls, but I am going to use a fate and exhaust my visage to block one of those hits, so I only take one of them. And then I'm gonna get -1, and that -1 is going to go on visage because it's Midas immune, so it doesn't have its. Does that mean it can't get a token, or does that mean that it just blocks the stats? I need to check. Midas immune. Midas immune. I know I went through this one last time, but I'm going to forget these things all the time. Ignore the effects of tokens placed on it. Yes, that's like a free token place, which is fine. And then each hit deals 4 damage, but I do get a black defense die for my feather cataract against that. And I got one free reroll on defense for my siren mask, but it doesn't matter because it's an 11 plus. Okay. And for this, I have blocked 1 damage, so I only take 3. Boom, boom, boom. And now I have to draw a major Mortis card based on my Hyperborean strain. So let's see how terrible this is. We have Predict Moves. I can look at the top part of the BP or AI deck and then put it back on top of the corresponding deck or onto the corresponding discard pile. Now, the thing is, if I look at the BP deck and it has that Quantum Eye symbol, I'm gonna have to gain another fate, and I'm already at 4, and I don't want to do that. So we're gonna look at the top part of the AI. Boom, boom. This is a right claw swipe, which would be 3 hits, 8 plus, furthest titan in front or in sight. If your fate is 3 or higher, it's an evasion roll of 10 instead, which is going to affect only the Logicbreaker. It'll be -1. You'll get Covetous. It'll do Imperial Attack. I'm going to put this in the discard pile so that it maybe comes back later, because that's at least somewhat evadable compared to other things. And this gets discarded here. All right. Um, is that true? Does it get discarded, or does it go on the bottom of the deck? I might be confusing myself between this and some changes in other situations. Trauma card. Trauma draw 42. Trauma draw. When it's done, you do a trauma draw. It should be put at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so discard means at the bottom of the deck. So this is going to go at the bottom of the deck. All right. So I survived that, which is not an obol, so that doesn't count for my special thing. I was not impaled, so I would be knocked down. And that's bad because then he's going to do this running thing, which would cause me to draw an obol, which I do not want to do right now. So I do not want to be knocked down. What I can do is I have this Feather Cataract that I can use a Fate and exhaust that. And instead of being knocked down, I reposition 3 instead. Now, when this runs, it's going to run all the way in this direction because it runs away from people. So if I use reposition 3, then I can go boom, 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 and then he's not going to run me over. So that's cool. And then he's going to use Imperial Impetus, which means he is going to run 8 spaces. So that's 1, 2, he hits the wall, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is why we need a lot of movement, because we are going to have to run all the way over to this other side of the board in order to hit him. But that's what these Hermes moves are for. And now I understand why I have abilities that let me do things with that separately, because I have to use a movement to use Hermes move, usually. Okay, but I survived the first turn, and now we can see what happens here. So first of all, the Logicbreaker is not going to be able to do. The Logicbreaker is not. What are the words I'm looking for here? The Logicbreaker is not going to be able to attack. So he just kind of needs to get out of the way. I don't know how anybody's going to be able to attack, to be completely honest here. Because in order to get within range of it, I need to do a lot of stuff, as far as I can tell. Ping pong pong pong. Let me check this. I gotta recheck all these Hermes move things again. You must end the movement on the first string tile in a direct line. Spacing movement is empty. You can move through the primordial, but cannot end your turn on it. Okay. So you can move next to it, but cannot end your turn on it. But what happens if you hit a wall? If you hit the board edge? What happens with the board edge? What happens on the board edge? So, haha. Sorry, I'm just your title. It doesn't say anything about board edges, does it? But you can stop on something adjacent to you along the way. So this is quite a puzzle. Already. So if he did an Hermes move, he could stop here and then go through it and land here. That's one way somebody can attack. Um, I don't know what happens if you go through a board edge though. And I don't want to do too much cheating in this fight, so I'm gonna have to figure that out at another time. She goes. I don't know. I don't know what happens if it's. I'm gonna try to ask this through the iPad while we fight because this is very confusing to me, and I apologize. Um, um, because I'm very stuck with what can or can't be done here. Uh, Let me see. This is a confusing one. Hermes move into border edge. Hermes move into board edge. Go. That is not even a thing. Ah, ah, there's so many rules. Oh, I don't know what to do here. Ah! All right. I'm gonna ask this question and have the Dawnbreaker go first and do a movement while I try to figure this out. What happens if you Hermes Hermes I can't type. If you Hermes move towards board edge. Somebody's gonna be like, what do you mean? I'll be like, gosh, come on, rules QA. Read before you ask. Search. Hermes. Move. Proc danger sense. No, I don't see enough stuff in here to find this answer. So, hopefully somebody will answer me while the Dawn Burner goes, because I do know that the Dawn Burner can make this happen. So the Dawn Burner is going to go next. He's going to use Hermes move 2. And for his first one, he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 and pivot to here because it's to the side. And then his second one is going to go through here and land him right smack dab in front of the dragon. And then he's going to attack. So his rage goes up by 1, which gives him the priority target token. And I gave myself a fate for that. And this sucks because he's got such bad precision, but he's the only person that could have even tried to attack. But it is what it is. So yeah. Okay. So he does get an extra die because of his little attachment thing. And Yeah, okay. Here we go. Whew. Okay, we're gonna roll those dice. And we got a crit and a 9. So that's 2 hits with a crit. Okay, all right. Well, this is starting. I mean, it's just like the Belly and Lunacy fight. Everything's gonna start off great, and then all of a sudden, I'm just not gonna be able to make anything happen when it counts later on. That's what's gonna happen here. But we get 2 black dice, 3 black dice, and 1 red dice. He's kind of uber. I probably should have taken a game changer instead of the returner to get a black die, but whatever, it's fine. It is what it is. So we got our dice pool here, and we are going to check the BP card, and we get a crit on this. So here we go. We got a BP card, and it is the Auric back. The crit is going to give us an item. That's pretty awesome, assuming we hit, which we should, because we only need 6 damage to 6 power to wound it, and then something amazing will happen. So let's just get that 6 power and move on. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We do not have 6. Is that really true? How is that possible? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because I don't have anything in the pool. You got to be shooting me. Come on, there has to be a way to do this. There has to be a way to make 6 happen. I rolled 3 black dice. What am I missing? What am I missing? Oh! I know what should have done. I should have given myself +1 rage first so that I could have gotten a reroll out of that. And we're going to say that I did. I, again, don't care when I cheat. It's very hard to control 4 players, and I'm doing this on camera. That would have been the smart thing to do. I should have done it. So we're going to say that I did. We're going to say that I did. And that would have given us enough. Okay, blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry. I'm never going to crit this card again. I'm taking it. I'm going to assume I did the right thing. And then because this should have averaged out to easily 6. Because like re-rolling that die, now I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I have 7 and 4 breaks and like all of this stuff. It should have been fine. And we're going to say it was fine. I don't care if you hate. Oh, I and immediately push back 2. Can I push him back? Is he immovable? I don't think so. It does not say he's immovable. So I can immediately push back 2. That's kind of fun. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna boom, boom, and push you on back 2 spaces. Um, or is that no. That's during immediate pushback 2 is during a uh, window of opportunity, not right now, as far as I understand it. Wow, that would have been fun though. I have Rocksteady on Iron Tower tiles, whatever that means. We'll figure it out if I get attacked. But okay, so we did all that. Your weapon carves gilded handholds in the thick but malleable golden skin. It gave me Auric Cloak card. And yes, I am, like I said, well aware this is somewhat of a cheat. I don't care. It's my game. Okay. Uh, I'm definitely not going to get an answer to this question before this fight is over, and I'm going to just have to kind of figure it out on my own. Let's see here. Auric Cloak. Here we go. So the Auric Cloak it's a secret. That's the Auric Cloak. And it says, now you see me. Okay. Um, ooh, this is a unique item, and it lets you ignore Imperial Impetus. So oh, I guess that means if it tries to trample through me, I ignore it. And it's a shield, and it's got 3. It's an armor. It's got 3 evasion rerolls, 1 minus immune, and on a full evade, I can perform Hermes move 1. And I'm gonna go ahead and equip that over the item I had, and now have this Auric Cloak. And also, on top of that, I need to add both of these items that I found to my armory, which I didn't officially do. So we're gonna do that before I forget. Armory plus. So we got one thing that we got was, where did it go? One thing that we got was the Debt Guard, DJ 2323 Debt Guard. And the other thing that we got is the Aura Cloak, which is DJ 2358. So that's fun. It's lots of fun stuff happening. Lots of cheating, lots of fun stuff happening. Roll for carving. You got it. That didn't actually roll. We're gonna say it. I did not get a crit on there because it didn't move. We did not successfully carve. Is what we're gonna say. That was not a really solid. All right, so this is gonna go into our wound stack. We are going to replace it with a BP2 card. The other thing is you get a lot of exercise when you play Aeon Trespass Odyssey solo because it's impossible to play this game without like constantly standing up, walking around, putting your I don't know whatever stuff everywhere. We're gonna take out an AI1, shuffle in an AI2. So we put that other not so bad AI1 into the discard pile before, and we do that. And now we get to actually put some things on our. We did a wound to the Midas core, so we're gonna have to go ahead and put a Midas token on this trait. Our next AI card is an AI2, so if I don't manage to do another wound, it's gonna suck. And I don't know how I can. And again, here's the confusing part for me is I do not understand how going into the board edge would work in this case. I don't understand it. We must end movement on the first terrain tile in a direct line. So I want to end my movement on here is what I want to do for somebody. So if I can figure out a way to make that happen, then I can do the thing. But I need 3 Erme movement to make that happen for pretty much anyone as far as I can tell. I could stop there, and then this is going to stop there. Actually, I can get there with the Warkeeper. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So the Warkeeper is going to gain a fate to do Erme movement 2. This is 1. This is 2. And he gets to appear on any tile on that he wants to. So he's going to appear here. And now he's within range 2 to use his Emperor Spear. Oh, shoot. I got to fill the pool. Got to fill the pool. Got to fill the pool. Okay, so we get opening 2 from the Conqueror Nail. We get I used a reroll, so I don't get that. We can get a hope or another opening. We're gonna get a hope. So not a lot of tokens, but we've got some things in here. Boom. Okay. I can't use that again because I used it before. Was there a window on that card? No. So if there's a window, I could also use some Titan movement stuff happening. Oh, and I have something that a Titan that's about to perform a voluntary movement can perform 4 more spaces during it. But I don't think that's going to get my returner into gear. But we'll see what happens here. So all right. So the Warkeeper is going to attack. I could. No, I don't have damage yet, so I can't use Seed of Paradise. So it's just going to be a regular attack with all of this stuff. So that's going to be 3 dice. 3 dice. We're going to put this right here. 3 dice. So we got a 6, a 1, and a 9. The 6 gets +2 precision, +2 from that. So 2 of those hit, 1 of those doesn't hit. We're going to go ahead and use a fate to reroll this one and try to get another hit out of this because we really want to get that AI2 off the top, and we did. So that is now 3 hits. So we get a black and 3 reds for the person. Yeah. We are sun-starved. So I could use precise, but there's no way to really do that here. Oh, I have to commit to use the Ember Spear, so that's another one. We're at 5 fate already, which are pretty wild. Let's see what this BP1 card says. It is a Muscular Tail, and this one is harder to hit. This is going to need 7 dice. So I have a worse dice pool here, and I'm going to try to get 7 dice, and if I fail, it's going to do the Imperial Impetus again. If I succeed, it's going to perform Signature against me. That's actually really bad because this guy's going to be in trouble if that happens. And this is not a fun body part to hit. We don't like hitting the tail at all. But let's see if we can get. Is that a push potential? Can either add 2 breaks or yeah. I don't want to do a push. All right, here we go. I mean, I'm probably this is going to be a fail. He's going to do that Imperial Impotence. Yeah, that's a total of three smackaroos. Definitely not a hit. Definitely not a hit. So it's going to fail, and Imperial Impetus is going to happen. Now the good news is that because of the Aura Cloak, the Dawnburner is going to completely ignore that, and this might actually put him into range of what I need to have something happen. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and end up over here, which means that the returner might have a shot of getting into position, but we'll find out. So this is going to go into our BP discard pile. Did not hit, but we do still get to do everything with the pool here, which is opening 2, fire 2, and 2 breaks. So we've put ourselves into a pretty good position um, for other things, which is nice. Yeah. All right. That was that. Now, can we get the returner in there? Because I really want to destroy that piece of food. Well, the returner, first of all, is not on top of an Iram tower yet. So the first thing that has to happen is she has to be able to climb on top of that Iram tower there. So let's try to do that. I think I might have cheated with the Warkeeper before because he wasn't on what was he? You can use Hermes movement. No, you don't have to be on one to use it. So that's fine. So she doesn't need to jump on that because that wouldn't help her to get to the monster any faster. Now, she also has a movement of 6. So she goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then uses this move an extra 4 spaces thing. She could also get to it that way. But I don't think that's how we want to do it. So I think instead we're going to go ahead and give her another fate so she can Hermes move twice. That's going to be 1, that's going to be 2, and she can then spawn on any space of this. So she's going to spawn over here next to him, and yeah, okay. No climb test. Okay. All right. So she flew across the board. She's on Iron Tower, which gives her cover, so she's going to get an extra what's the word I'm looking for? She's going to get an extra defense while she's on it. So that's good too. And yeah, all right. Wait, what is shifting? Midascore does not destroy trading piles unless stated items. Was the Midascore supposed to make these things shift and I messed that up? Probably shifting. If the primordial ends its movement on this terrain tile, which was this one, displace it to the closest empty space. So this would have been here. And then it would have been fresh and not that. Um, and so now this landed here, so this would have moved here. That's only if it ends its movement. Okay. So she is going to be able to attack it. And she's got Sunbask, so she can spend those 2 fire tokens to just turn them into an auto wound, which I'm going to do because that just seems wise. And we're going to go ahead and do this attack. Right? Well, I could have done spiral. She could do spiral too to get rid of some fate while she does it, which we'll do if she doesn't get an auto hit. So we get +2. She has +4. So this should be an easy thing to hit. 5, that's a hit. We're going to use Spiral 2 to lower one of her fate and re-roll that. 7, still a hit. Okay, good. So that is going to give her 3 red dice plus 1 for herself. Again, she should have been a game changer, but she's not. So we got the 4 dice. And hopefully we'll have a better shot at hitting this than the muscular tail. And this is a towering wing. And yes, this only takes 6 to hit. And if I wound it, the thing's going to run again. Okay, so we need 6. We're gonna get 2. We already have 2 hits because of Sunbask and the Eclipse Sword. So we really only need 4 more. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from the 2 break tokens. So that is 6. That is more than enough. Okay, that's a wound. So with the wound, there's going to be an Imperial Impetus. Nobody's going to have to do anything because it's just going to keep running around the board. So that's 1, 2. Wait, is it? Yeah, 4 in a straight line. Just keeps running around the board, circling the board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this gets displaced to here. So yeah, this thing literally just flies around the board in a circle. That's kind of fun-ish, I guess. So we wounded it successfully. This goes into our wound stack. We add a Midas token to incremental pain. We shuffle a BP2 card into the BP deck. We only need we only need to do 8 more wounds. We've been playing for 46 minutes already. So this is going to be a long game. The good news here is because of that, we take the top AI1 card out, and that gives us a chance of potentially getting an AI1 on top of the deck again when it takes its turn, which is going to be in 35 seconds because yes, it is. And on the top of the deck, we still have AI1. Okay, but there is a BP2 on top of the BP deck now, so that's not as fun. Oh, and we forgot to have him lose his fatigue token from when he moved. Did he move? No, he didn't go yet. He gets to move now. So I still don't know what happens if I use an Hermes move and there's no elevated tile. If there is no tile between you and Ward. To turn so you so he gets a movement, which is cool. Uh so where's a good place to pop? He's gonna pop over here and try to climb up onto this tower to be ready for his next turn, and he does, so he's here now. Because I forgot to move him. Okay. All right. So that's it for round 1. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. Oh, that's exhausting. Okay. Yummy, 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 oxen free. We're gonna put this back, and we're gonna see what the monster does. All right, AI1. Here we go. This is the tail whip. Target furthest Titan in front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's going to be the Logicbreaker again, which is what we want. It's going to move an attack. If you have -1 or Fate 4, it's going to be an extra attack. That's just going to be what happens. It's going to turn to face directly away from the target. If the attack hits, it does a lot of bad stuff, and then it does a big knockback. Oh, and it's going to charge twice, so that's fun. So let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 faces. So he's going to come this way, turn around, face backwards this way, and it's going to be 3 hits at 9 plus with its hit. Okay. And this is the Logicbreaker, who cannot use his shield. Oh, shoot, you know what? I forgot to replace the pool from the returner. So the returner, we should have a black, we should have a hope, we should have a rouse, we should have a pass, which will have be the break. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where this thing's gonna end up. It's gonna go running around the map a bunch of times. Okay, so we did all that. Yeah, okay, now we're gonna roll the defense dice. We need to get 9 plus. So we evaded 2 of those, which is pretty great. But the problem is if the attack hits at all, it does the thing. So do we get 1 free reroll from the Siren Mask, so we're gonna go ahead and roll that and hope for another 9. That is not a 9. I do not have a way to avoid that. So that sucks. Okay, great. So that is going to be 7 damage and -1. We can't use our defense because of this, so that brings us up to 10, which is going to be an obol. We already know he draws a you live because we know that. And as soon as he survives an obol, he can spend a fate to do an automatic attack up to 3 times per round. So he can do that like immediately. Well, he is going to get the other Midas token, which sucks. We're going to pop that on. Well, I'm chain breaking the rest of this with this logic break. So all of these imperial impetuses are not going to happen. If I understand that correctly, my understanding is I chain break when I use the Logic Breaker's Obol ability. If I am wrong on that, I apologize, and you can all, do whatever you need to do to me. It's fine. I'm gonna put this on. Definitely not on my whip because I need the whip to attack. We're gonna put this on. I want to keep those rouses for now. I'm gonna put it on my armor because it's already exhausted anyway, and whatever. Okay. So we're gonna do a bonus attack. I get a +1 to my. I think I already raised it. We're gonna get a +1 because of this. Um, this has provoke, so the monster is going to turn to face me, and I am going to get the priority target token. And I am going to attack with this whip. We are sun starved, so I also get spotlight, which I think means I do an extra damage. If that one's correct. Spotlight. Oh, I get plus 1 red die for the attack because it's because I'm sun starved. Each hit is going to add fire 1. Okay. Oh, and I get to do all of these other things now. So I can use the whip to do an extra Hermes move at some point. I can reposition 3 after I fight because of the icebreakers. Because all of my danger is high, so that helps me out potentially as well. But we'll see how this all goes. I have rolled an 8 and 2 4s. The 8 is a hit. The 2 4s are not hits. Which is sucky. Oh, I get +1 precision from this. So that is that's plus, it's still not enough. I need one more positive precision beyond all of that. So I'm gonna have to re-roll those, bringing my fate up to 8. Great. Well, that gave me 1 more hit at least. Okay, so I still get, so I get 3 red dice there. I don't get the spotlight. I get 1. No, yeah, the spotlight gives me 1, so I get 4 total. Is what I'm trying to say. I get an auto break. I get an auto black. And it's a BP2 that's going to be nasty. It is the hind horns. Oh, it's only 7 for the hind horns. The problem is it's going to perform signature against me, which is going to suck. But whatever, it is what it is. Okay. Assuming it's gonna perform a signature against me, assuming I hit it. That is. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 from the hope, 8 from the break. So that's enough to overbreak it, which is all I need for my other stuff. So I'm not going to reroll anything. I'm just going to take that wound. All right. So the signature is going to happen after everything else. So first, we wound it. Ooh, that might be a bad idea because we're putting a BP3 into the deck now. And we've only done three, 3 out of 10 wounds to the Midas core. Ooh, this is going to be nasty. Okay, great. Then we have to take an AI2 out of the deck and replace that with an AI3. And that deck is getting a little slim, so that's pretty scary also. But it is what it is. Great. Okay. Actually, I think do bonus. I'm confusing myself again. I feel like because it's a bonus attack, that doesn't happen. There's some rule that says that doesn't happen, but I'm trying to remember what it is. Bonus attack. Bonus attack. 56. Bonus attack. Mm. During a bonus attack, you may ignore attack responses to this stack, which is um, attack responses. Yeah, so I don't trigger that because this was a bonus attack. Was this a bonus attack? Is a logic break attack a bonus attack? I have no idea. Is a logic break attack a bonus attack? Search. Mm. Eh, logic. I'm so confused. Eh, well, Google search is not helping me here, and searching through Discord will take me an hour. Um, ugh. Ah, filming. Yeah. Sorry, viewers, if it counts as a bonus attack or not. I'm counting it as a bonus attack for this instance, just to not waste too much time. Sorry, this game is a lot. So we're saying, I am saying, I am saying that signature does not trigger because I attacked due to an obol, and I am counting that as a bonus attack. I don't know if that's true. It might be not true. Um, but whatever. Okay, so we do the wound. We shuffle the things. We. This is still during the bad guy's turn because this is happening, but we still clear this pool and put a new pool in. There were 2 hits, so that's 2 fire tokens, 1 rouse token, inspire 1, which doesn't matter, motivate 1, which motivate 1, which I think does matter. We'll do that. Um, we did that already. We were doing bad on the dice roll, so we didn't spiral. We get from here 1 overbreak. We are going to add one opening from the second tier, and that is everything. The rest of this we are declaring was chain breaked. And that means, oh, and I did a wound, so that's another Midas token on here. And that means it's now technically our turn. So we have fire in there, which is not what I want for um, which is not what I wanted for the Logicbreaker, but it is what I want for the Returner. But when we hit, this guy's going to go running again, most likely. But I still feel like that's the best way of handling things. So, yeah, because if I get obold and I live, I'll keep drawing stuff unless I mess things up here. Okay, so the returner is going to go first, so that she can make use of Sunbask. So she's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just stand right over here. She's going to go ahead and attack, which is, I mean, her this is bigger than the person who has priority, so she's going to take it. I think is what it's going to be. We're gonna it's a BP1, so okay, that's all we're gonna do. And she's going to go ahead and attack with the Eclipse Sword. And she's gonna hit for sure. It's definitely gonna happen. Right? Sure, yes. 3, that's not a hit. She's gonna re-roll that. 5 plus 2 is 7, plus 1 is 8, plus 1 is 9. That is enough. Oh, I was, of course, using Sunbask because I said I was using Sunbask. And now she's going to roll 4 dice against a BP1, which is the hardened underbelly. And I need 7 to hit that, which I don't know if I can do. I get 2 auto, so maybe. We'll see. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have a break for 7, so that's enough. Okay, so that was 7. So wounding it is a -2 effect. We're almost out of these tokens already. -2, -2, -2. Um, gosh, these Midas things are tough. I don't want to lose that sword. But I think losing that sword might be better than losing that shield. So we're going to pop that on the sword. And the second one, starting to get a little bit more roused now, but I don't want to lose that yet. This is tough. We're gonna put it on the sun-kissed Caliciris thing. Okay. So we did that. That is going to add. I need more Midas tokens out of my punch board. There's golden Midas alchemy is everywhere. We're gonna add another one here, so that's gonna trigger soonish. This is going to go into our wound stack. We are going to replace. We're going to shuffle a BP2 into the BP deck. We need to do 6 more wounds, which is a lot. And we're going to take an AI1 out of here and replace it with an AI2 from here. And okay. And oh, then we have to do the pool. And the pool is stuff goes away. And she gets to add a black, a hope, a rouse. She would have gotten a pass, which will be an opening. She gets another black from this, and I think that's a reposition and not a motivate. Thank you, check. Nope, that's a motivate, so somebody else can get moved one more space. So we're going to go ahead and move the Dawn burner a little closer again in case they can attack. And that was her turn. Okay. So now there's no more fire in there. So now we're in a good spot for now we're in a good spot for the Warbreaker actually to jump on in there because he can use precise and target that BP1 and slow the roll of this thing getting stronger just a little bit. Or no, we're gonna have the Logicbreaker go next, and use his spotlight ability and take out the BB2. All right, so he's gonna go first. He's gonna unexhaust all of his gear, because he can, and he should, and then so that hopefully later we can do other things. And he's going to raise raise his rage by 1, and attack with the whip again. He has spotlight again. And so I rolled 3 1s. So that is a crit miss. So we will ignore all potentials during this attack. I only have 1 fate to reroll it all. So we're gonna reroll that crit die. That was really bad. And we got a crit with the crit die. So we have spotlight, so we get 1 more red. So we get 3 red dice. This is terrible. We get an auto black, but what good does an auto black do and an auto break do when you can't use break tokens because we were cursed with you will never win? You know, it at least landed. I'm going to go ahead and let this happen and ruin my day. This is a gold carrying vein. I need 8. 8 to hit it on my 3 dice because that's gonna happen. Not, it's definitely not gonna happen. But if I hit it with my crit, each Titan can discard up to 3 Midas tokens. My fail still happens even on a crit result, right? It's just instant stuff. Oh well. Okay, so that was not a bonus attack, so it should have done its signature right after that, but we've moved on too far, so we're just gonna keep going. What is it that I'm looking up here? What was I looking up here? Oh, if on a crit chance, uh, we ignore the fail. I know these are all questions that we ask like a bazillion times, but it just always gets confusing because it just is so much stuff. You successfully win the primordial. Resolve response. And then resolve that response is normal. All right, so we failed to wound, so we're getting -1. I'm on a tower. Yeah, we're gonna put that on the icebreakers. We get the covetous condition card, which is probably gonna be terrible. Well, let's find out. Covetous. When you place tokens in the Kratos pool, you may only place half of that number of tokens. If you get this a second time where you get greed crazed, flip this card. When you remove 2 or more Midas tokens of any single effect, discard this and gain enriched with 1 positive precision token. If you have this at the end of the battle, draw a faded Memnos card. Well, I don't know how to get rid of Midas tokens. I have no idea how to get rid of Midas tokens. So I guess I'm just going to be covetous forever. And then we have a reaction window before he does Imperial Impetus again, which is going to run him in this direction this time. But I do need to get out of that way. So we're going to exhaust this. And oh, we can't, we don't have any more fate to get. So we're going to exhaust this to move 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3 over to there. And then he's going to do Imperial Impetus. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This moves here. This moves here. And everything is terrible. Everything is awful. And so now we can only put half the total number of things that we would have put into the pool. So we had 1 hit for 1 fire. We have 1 opening from this. We have 1 rouse from this. We were at 2, which doesn't give us overbreak. So 1 opening from this. So a total of 4. And I can only leave 2 of these. So we're going to leave the rouse and 1 opening is what we're going to do. Oh, I would have technically been a 3, but there's no way I would have gotten enough hits rolling these 3 dice. So, it just is, it is what it is. I do get another Motivate 1 from the Cyclopean Hand Mirror. So we're going to go ahead and move the Dawnburner 1 step closer again. Um, and yeah, that sucked. All right. So from there, we are currently sun-starved. Is there any way for the Dawnburner to jump in there? I don't think there is, because he's got to get that. He's got to get some of this other stuff going. Um, from climb test, laser attacks, hold on attacks, dying from the chasm, blah blah blah. All right, we're gonna have the War Keeper go next, and he's gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, because he's got reach 2 anyway. So he's gonna end up there. Okay. He got 0. Oh, what was all the wound stuff here? Uh, we had a bunch of stuff. So he could have done another. This guy could have done another reposition 3. So he's gonna just come over here. I'm not sure why, but that's what he's doing. He could have still had a movement, so he can try to climb on top of this bigger thing and jump up on here, which will give him some help. I need to, well, defy and all these other things cost fate anyway. You don't have no more fate to gain, so he's okay. All right. So that was still something else. Okay. So we are going to attack with the Ember Spear that costs a commit. I don't even know if I have the ability to do enough attacks to finish this based on the fact that I have missed twice. But, it is what it is, what it is, what it is, what it is. We're going to roll 3 dice to attack with the Ember Spear, and we're going to raise our rage up 1. And here we go. 7 and a 1 and a 2. So that's 1 hit. We're going to get 2 more fate to reroll 2 of these. And 4 and a 6. The 6 is now a hit. The 4 is not. So that is 2 hits. So we're going to roll 3 red dice again against a BP2. So this is going to be another failure, pretty much for sure. Yeah, we need 8 to hit this. That's never going to happen. So we're just gonna get on with it. So that's 3. That's a miss. He is also covetous now. Man, this sucks. Okay, he's also covetous, and the Imperial Impetus is going to happen again. So that is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 over to here. And that's that. And I feel like that's going to be pretty much it for what we're going to be able to do this round. We do get to clear the pool because I tried to hit and failed. So we do get to add, well, we only get to add half the tokens now because we're covetous. So it's going to be 2 fire, 2 opening, um, we're up to 3, 2 breaks, 1 opening. That would have been a push, but what's he going to push? Well, technically he can move 1 space towards it, because that's what pushing partially does. And we have 7 tokens. And so we can only leave 3 of these tokens in the pool. Based on what's probably going to happen, we're going to leave 2 openings and a break. I'm feeling like this is going to definitely be a loss, is what this feels at this moment in time. But, you know, hey, it is what it is. The Dawnburner can still go. But he really can't get nowhere. So he's just going to position himself over here, try to climb up on this. He rolled a 2 and he can't. So he's just going to stand there. Wait. Oh, and then he's going to use his regular action to re-ready this. Movement. The end of your turn. Wait. Let's think. Let's think before we do that. Hold on. So I could gain a movement ability. And if I gain a movement ability, I can attack. So yeah, so we're gonna get a fate to gain an extra movement to ready this and then use this with a fate to Hermes 1, Hermes 2, and get ourselves in here where we can do a hit. So that's 4, and he's not going to get a movement action on his next turn, but that is fine. Where's this? It's on the other side of this. So he can't move the next turn, but he can try to attack. Oops. And he gets an extra die from this and this and this and this. And oh, I hope this works. You know, this probably wasn't wise, but it's too late now. Did the things. We have a crit chance, so that's 1. This is a 5 plus 2 is 7 plus 1 plus 1, that's 9. So it's 2 hits, which is the most I can get. So we have a crit chance. We have 3 black dice and 1 red dice. I do need to change out some of these titans for more black dice. That is clear. Okay. Is there anything else that I could have done here that I didn't do? Not really. Okay. And it's a BP1, so we should be able to take this down. It's the long neck. The crit is going to give us a vantage point, which is cool. All right. It's very easy to hit this too. So like we slammed it out of the park. Your weapon finds purchase in the aurified skin again and again, as if you were carving a golden staircase. Create the vantage point, so we can now climb on its back. And that gives us 2 extra wounds, which is going to be helpful here. If the VP is already in play, other stuff. So that happened. So we create the vantage point. That is going to be the 5th token on here. So that's going to happen before anything else, which is going to kind of suck, but whatever. That was BP1. So we're shuffling a BP2 in. We're now halfway there. We're also in pretty bad shape, but we're halfway there. And then we're going to take a we're going to take an AI1 out of here. Which one of these do we hate the most? We really hate the tail whip, but I think more than the tail whip, we really hate the horn pierce. So we're gonna take that horn pierce out and shuffle in an AI2. Okay. Then we're going to clear the pool. And clearing the pool is going to let us put in, oh, I got to do a carving check. Carving check succeeded. So that is a Borja. Where's my, oh no, something. The app froze on me. Sad. Ambrosia. Ambrosia? Ambrosia. Ambrosia. It's a mutable. Okay. So what are we doing? We have opening 2. We have hope or an opening. We're going to put hope, and we have fire. Okay. Was there a rouse in there? No, there wasn't. Okay. So that happened. Now we're going to clear all of this, and he's going to do signature, which is going to target the furthest Titan in front, which is definitely her. And then he's going to move and attack all Titans in the path, which we cannot. I don't think there's any way for us to avoid that with the Logicbreaker, because that thing is currently discarded. So, okay, so it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's going to start with attacking the Logicbreaker and then continue on its way. So, it's going to be 3 dice. 1, 2, 3. The good news is I can get some extra evasion potentially. Oh, I got a crit evade, which doesn't do anything, but I do get 1 free reroll here, which did not work. So it's going to be 2 hits. So firstly, we get a -1, which I'm actually going to put on the whip because my visage still allows me. My visage is Midas immune, so that's good. And each hit deals 3, so that's going to be 6 damage, bringing me to 15, which puts something in there for sure. Yep. You died horribly goes into the deck. And I mean, I'm probably going to die here anyway because that's what's going to happen. Uh-oh. 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 You died. Roll a d10. On a 10, you awaken. All right. 3, I do not awaken. So that is it for you, unless I want to use a nymph. At least 1 Titan has died or drawn an obel. So I can use one of these potentially. Um, does one of these stop death? Treat them as if they drew a you live card. Blah blah blah. Spend 1. Okay, I'm going to use the Amalthean nymph, and that treats it as though I drew a you live card, and I lose 6 fate, 3 fate, and 3 damage. So this one cannot be used anymore. And something else happens there. My fate is now less than 6, so I can avoid this knockdown now, because now I can reflex out of the way, potentially. Do I have something that lets me reflex that much? Let's defy. Well, defy. What is defy? What is defy? What's defied? Is that this book? Defy. Nope. What is that? This book? Oops. Defy. How is that this sheet? Nope. Is that this book? Defy. Yeah. That's a judgment thing. You know, I did all that, but I still can't really get out of the way here. Can I? How do I avoid this knockdown? That's just 1 reflex. So it went that way. It's gonna boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so just one reflex is gonna be enough to just kind of get me out of the way here. Um, oh, wait, no, nope, that's not true. We're going back. We're going back because I used that, which basically just meant that I survived an obol, so I can do an immediate attack, and that's a chain break. So he stops, I think. Move and attack all titans in path. Um, chain break. Did I? Ah! This is so much. Uh, hold on. So if I three, zone attacks, it will keep going. But this is not a zone attack, so he will stop charging, and I will interrupt it with this hit. I think that is how I'm reading it. So we're gonna go ahead and do an attack. Um, so I can't use the whip anymore, so I have to use the visage now, which is actually good because it gives me a better chance to hit. And it's going to do 2 extra damage. It's going to do a whole bunch of stuff. What does Daze do again? Daze, I think, turns it to face me. Wait, wait, wait. That's definitely this book. Daze. You may turn the primordial in a way that results in your Titan being in one of its rear spaces. Boom. Daze. Okay. Oh no, I have to hit it first before my ability window, don't I? All right. Well, I got a crit again somehow. I don't know how, but I did. So that's wild. This is also a BP3, so that's not going to do me much good, I don't think, but who knows? Maybe it will. So that's a hit. I turned it around. I dazed it. We get 2 black dice, 1 red die from me. Um, but I don't think there's going to be any way to like kill this thing with that. Do I have any? I get an auto break. And this is a crit with the Visage. Right. Um, let's see how bad this is. This is the Imperial Grimace. Oh, it's only 8. That's not so bad. And it's a crit. Oh, it's gonna give me a bonus attack too. That's wild. Okay. 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's enough. So that's a critical. Your attack momentarily blinds the primordial, giving you enough time for a follow-up strike, gain the priority target token, and you may perform a bonus attack. Yes. Huh. Okay. It's turning around. It is turning around. So this is 2 wounds. Did they change the rules for how double wounds attack, or is that something I saw about? No, I think that's something I saw happening with 12 Sins of Heracles. So I need one of these double wound cards, wherever the heck I've put that. Um, here. So I not only that, not only that, but I just crit a BP3, which means I'm going to get a core at the end of this fight, which is like double awesome. So we're going to put a double wound in here. We're going to put 2 Midas tokens on here. I have to remember how to do this in this game because it's different than the other game. Critical wound. Oh no 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 no! I crit it so it actually goes in here. It doesn't shuffle back into the gut. I put it. Search the BP pack and discard pile for the lowest BP card and remove it from the battle. Okay, so we're going to remove this BP1 from the battle and replace it with a BP3, right? Oh no, we're gonna put 2 of those cards in. So there should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It should be that. Okay. Because we critted it. And then we're going to remove the lowest AI card and put in seriously I cannot AI just go the lowest. And so we're going to remove an AI one and replace it with an AI 3. And now we are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now we only need to do 3 more wounds. That was pretty clutch that the BP3 was not that terrible. The good news is I get another bonus attack at the end of this, which is pretty wild. The bad news is that I'm covetous, so I'm not going to be able to put a lot of tokens in here because all we're going to be able to do is a hope and a rouse and a. I think I overbroke it, so we get an overbreak from that. We get an opening. We'll do an overbreak from this. We'll do an overbreak from this. I mean, we're only going to get to put half of these in there anyway, so it's fine. And number 4, I could lose an ambrosia and get an opening, so we're going to do that. And so that's 6 tokens, and we get to keep 3 of them. So we're going to keep the rouse. No, we don't need the rouse because we're attacking again and we don't need it. We're going to keep the hope. We're going to keep 2 of the breaks because that's another BP3. And we're going to try to do this exact same thing again because we're going to attack. We get a bonus attack. So we're going to attack again, which brings us up to 5 on here. And then we're going to use that visage again. Visage. And we got a 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. That's enough to hit. And so now we're going to get 3 red dice. And where did this black? Oh no, two red dice, 1 black dice, and 2 red dice from me. So that's 5. We're still at 6 or more damage, so we're still going to get that extra damage out of that. We still get an auto break from me, so we got 3 breaks and a hope in there. We're not going to risk a spiral on this because we need to get these things to happen. Oh, I could have gotten reposition 3 as well. And I don't think I want to. No, I don't want to use that. Okay. Great. This one's going to be like 15. Watch. Here we go. VP3, and it's 8 again. Not bad. This is the immovable horn. I could have tried to jump on its back. No, I haven't had an action to try to jump on its back yet. These have all been interrupts. Okay, so I only need 8 here. If this was a crit, I would have gotten another special card potentially if I get 8. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that is once again enough. Any impaled titan becomes not impaled, but there are impaled titans. And now he's going to do his wound effect, which is going to be Imperial Impetus, which is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 over to the corner there. And this is a normal double wound. So where did I put those cards? I just had a whole stack. Okay. So that's a double wound. This is we're going to remove the lowest level BP card. So we're going to have to remove this muscular tail now. That's going to also get replaced with a BP3. This whole deck is going to get shuffled, and the card that we just hit is going to go on the bottom of it. And now I only have to do 1 more wound to finish this off, which is pretty wild when you think about it. And we have a BP2 on the top, which is going to be hopefully easier to hit. We have to remove the final AI1, place that with an AI3. Now, here's where I'm confused. I don't remember who's gone, who hasn't gone, any of that stuff anymore. I believe somebody missed somewhere, which triggered. I don't know. I don't know if it is. She went because she failed. He went and he failed. He went and he didn't fail. So when I wounded something, we got a perform signature. I think he's gonna go next, is what I think is supposed to happen. even I'm not even sure at this point. Wow, using that nymph changed everything, huh? All right. Well, anyway, so we did that. We our pool, we get a motivate one, which is going to be we're going to move that returner over there, I think. And inspire doesn't matter. I get a reposition 3. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. We have a hope one. We have we got more than above again as we needed, so we got 1, 2, 3 here. 1, 2, 3. Hope. We got the rouse in there, and we get to keep 2 of these. So we're going to keep the rouse, and we're going to keep a break, and see what happens from here. Oh, and 2 more Midas tokens on here, but that's not going to matter because we only have to do 1 more wound. So, yeah. Let's see what this AI card says. This is an AI2. I think this is our first AI2. It is Horn Dive. It's going to target the priority target token, of course. It's going to jump and attack. What is that? What is that? Okay, so you cannot use Hermes movement to head towards a board edge. Uh, it has been stated. So that's good. All right, jump, 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 jump. It doesn't cause crash unless the primordial ends on a space occupied by it. All right. So this is going to jump to me. So this is going to be nasty. All right. Jump. It's going to be 3 attacks, 4 attacks that I need an 11 plus to evade. So this might be where the Logicbreaker's luck and logic runs out. But let's yeah. I mean, no, it's an auto death unless I full evade it, basically, um, because it's going to Midas me out. But that's okay. That's all fine. Now, ironically, I got 2 10s on that, so I avoided 2 of those. So since this is going to kill me anyway, I'm gonna re-roll these last 2. Well, I don't need those 2 dice to do that. I can just use my Visage and Sire Mask. I'm gonna re-roll these 2, and if I managed to get 2 more 10s, I did not get 2 more 10s. I would have survived, but that's going to give me a -3. That gives me my final Midas token. I am horrified and I die. After attack, air burst 3, which happens, that's fine. So at the end of the battle, I will have to draw a Fated Memnos, and I will have to see if my hot friend Amorphos dies already because of front lines. But the good news here is that was the end of that, and all I need to do now is destroy this one BP3. So my best bet at that is going to be my Dawnburner, who is in a perfect position to do it, to make it all happen. So we're going to go ahead. It's going to ready. We're going to use this to give him 1 rage. He does not get a movement this turn. Oh, that's fine, because could have used this to move the 1, 2, 3 spaces that I needed to move. And now I'm okay. Because I got reach 3. So I can attack from there. Okay. Without moving. So I use that. That brings me up to here, which means with the rouse, I'll be at the 5 that I need to get my extra red die to make sure that this hit lands, which is the important part. And then we get to roll 3 dice to try to make it happen. Is there anything else I need to do to try to make it happen? There's nothing else that can. Come on, and watch. It's going to be like the Babelian Lunacy again, where everything goes wrong on this dice roll. I got 1 hit there. I'm going to gain 2 fate to re-roll both of these and hopefully get 1 more hit. 6 +1 +1. That's only 1 hit. But that's 1 black. That's 2. That's still 2 blacks and 2 reds with everything that I have. So this still might be okay. Still might be okay. Is there anything anybody else can do in the meantime? No, not really. All right. Let's see if we can make it happen. And this is the hardest one to hit so far. It's a 9. Fudge pickles. Okay, let's see if we can still make it happen with a 9. I get potentially, I get potentially 1 reroll on this too. Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need 3 more. Oh, 7. I need 2 more. Is there a 2? Yep. So it's possible if well, do I get 2 rerolls or 1? I get 1. So if I roll a double wound on this, it'll do it. If not, bad things will happen. No. So that sucked. So that's a -2 for me. We're going to put 1 on the cloak that doesn't get affected by it, and 1 on the nail. That's a 2-handed thing. Well, and the next one, of course, is a BP3. So that lets me add a bunch of stuff. I don't want to add fire into the mix, so I want to try to. Is the Warkeeper able to? Yeah, I didn't use this yet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the Warkeeper can try to get in there and still do something, but he's not had enough things to do it yet. And that, but he's going to get better dice than her still. And I could use precise potentially. No, I can't because of the commitment. Well, let's worry about who's going to attack next after we figure this pool out. So first things first, we get 2 openings in there. We get a hope. We get. I used that reroll, so I don't get a fire. That is. I don't want to do any pushing. Well, I want to be sun-starved, so we're going to put in a second hope. I think I want to be sun-starved. Try to make this spear happen. Actually, no. Instead of that hope, we're going to put in another opening and a fire, and we're going to go ahead and try to utilize that. Um, yeah. Okay. That's it for you. So we still have Hypatia and the Returner. So the Returner is going to go next. I don't. That's stupid. Well, no, we're going to have the Returner go next because if he runs, he's going to run this way, which is gonna at least give the Warkeeper a chance to go again. So yes, we are going to have. That's a BP3 though. The other one wasn't so bad. It's going to be 4 dice, but it'll get it out of the way. Okay, so she's going to go next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there. She's going to use her Eclipse Shield to attack. This is wild how I just can't do this last move, like to save my life, because I don't have I can't use the sword right now. That is this was a 9. 5 plus this is a hit. That's 6. Okay, so 3 plus 3 plus 3 is 9. That would have been 3 hits. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Really? Yes, yes, really. 4 dice. And yeah, that of course is going to be a harder one, which is a 10. And that's going to make her greed crazed. Everybody's going to be faded. Everybody's going to be faded. It's going to be wild. At least the next card is a 2, so there's a better shot of getting it. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's no way we can get to what we need here, I don't think. Um, so I'm gonna pass on all of this other stuff. She's gonna get -2, so that's 1. We're gonna need to keep that opening in there. I ran out of tokens again. Eh, too much minus. Yeah. Yeah. That is 1. Ooh. Do I want to lose the openings or the rouse? I want to lose the openings because the rouse will give him an extra thing. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And he gets greed crazed. Wait, should I have read this first? Yeah. This is you can only place half rounding down and only use half rounding down. If you get this another time, you die. When you discard 4 or more Midas tokens, you can discard this. And she's going to get a faded Memnos at the end. So this is going to go into this discard pile here. The thingy did not run around. She's only going to be able to put half the tokens in. We're going to get Rouse. And she gets to get 2 passes and 1 black. Um, well, she can't pass on those. So it's gonna be. So it's gonna be these. She only gets to put 2 in. The rouse has to be one of them. We're gonna use. Or the black reroll. No, we're gonna use the opening for the other one. Okay, so I get +1 movement. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll use this to move up to 4 other spaces. 2, 3, 4 to here. And we will attack, and there's a rouse in there, which lets us wait. Yeah, which lets us get an extra red die on this attack. So we're gonna roll 3 dice. This is kind of our last chance, which is annoying and stupid. 9, 7, 7. Okay, so that's the 3 hits that I needed. So that's going to be 1 black, 2 red from that, 2 red from his thing. That gives us 5 dice total. She's not damaged. The only person who got hit ever was the one who got dead. At least he can use all of these. He had to spend 1 fate to attack because the spear needs commit. So he could have. Yeah, it's fine. We'll leave him there. Do I want to try to climb on the back? Good. He didn't, but she would not have either. So it's fine. And now this card is an 8, and it's the vocal cord again. So we need to win. This is like the worst possible roll. Not the worst, but 1, 2, 3, 4 plus that's 5 out of 8 on 5 dice, which is just ridiculous. We're going to re-roll these 2. Okay, this might be better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Where's my 8? Are you serious? Like, I can't get this? Is that for real? Hold on. I refuse to accept this. I must have missed something. Um, wait, what is that? Um, hold on. Hold on. I'm going to figure out a way that this should have worked. Because I was rushing. We're going to just say, here's what we're doing. We're saying, I'm cheating again. I'm cheating again. And I'm saying I put a break token in instead of an opening token. And that would have given me that final thing I needed. Now, for the record, let's just see how many times it would have taken me to roll 8 hits in here. That'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That would have been 8. And that would have been 0. See, this is ridiculous. That would have been 2. That would have been 1. That would have been 3, 4. Like the amount of times that I'm like now, just for the record, like what I could get on this is I could have gotten a total of 10. Hold on. I'm trying to assuage my guilt and see if I feel like all right, we're gonna say I missed. We're gonna say I missed. So she's now grief craved. Grieves craved. No, that's not okay because then this impetus is gonna happen. It's gonna Midas everybody. Nobody's gonna be able to attack. We're calling it. We're calling that that was a win. I there I let the first 2 people miss. It is 1:53 into this, and I need to eat. So I can't keep going. So that's it. That's it. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus 4 is 10. Yeah. Hiya. I cheated again. I don't care again. That's what happened. But we have to do a whole bunch of aftermath stuff anyway. Um, so, geez Louise. And that's level 1. Okay. That's no, no. Okay. After battle, reset Triskelions. Dun, dun. Where we're setting our Triskelions. I don't know why I'm doing this because I'm not going to do another fight before I put this away. That's officially happening. For the record, I was supposed to be somewhere in 20 minutes and I thought I was going to have time to do a fight, and that is now not happening. So there's no COVID cautious dance class today. We are going to lose 3 Ardor Fate. Man, 1, 2, 3. Okay. We're going to get resources. Well, first of all, everybody except for Solon is going to get a faded Memnos. So let's see what those are before anything else. Are those here? These are here. All right. So let's see. Amorpho. Oh, we have to see if Amorphos dies. Amorphos doesn't die. It's on a 1, right? That runs. I think if that runs. Shortlines. Shortlines. Is that in this book? I don't know which book anything is in. Shortlines. Nope. Maybe it's here. Shortlines. Okay, yeah, it wasn't a 10, so at least they didn't die. All right. So first off, Amorphos the Logicbreaker is expendable. Holy crap. He cannot redraw Obol cards. And his robes are dabbed crimson. That sucks for him because he was supposed to be our tank. And now that he can't be. Damn it. Okay. Next is the returner. She is cursed. She gains the Gold Thirst Curse Affliction, and whenever she gains a Midas token, she also gains 1 fate. You covet that which gleams like the sun. So she is cursed, and she is Gold Thirst, which means um, which means at the start of each turn she gets a Midas token. Dang. Well, she's going to be in trouble from now on. So now we have to give her a bunch of Midas protection gear and change that shit around. So that's going to suck. Okay. And finally, the Warkeeper is. Oh, oh, I don't want to. Well, actually, I don't care about bleeding anymore. So maybe I can just let that Logicbreaker go. How many Pygmalion stones do I have? I've only got 1. I'm gonna let that Logicbreaker die. Oh boy. Poop, poop, poop. Bye. Bye. Okay, so the Warkeeper is a wishful thinker. She says, I've got this. Oh my fuck. When you wound after escalation, if the AI card on the top is not an AI 3 or AI 4, shuffle the AI deck. Yikes. That's awful. Okay, well, there's a lot of stuff that happened today. I think I suffered enough and I deserve the win after all that nonsense. And what does this mean when it says AI 4? I don't want to hear about AI 4 cards. What is that? That's wild. Okay. We're going to get resources. And we get 1 random BP3 to be the final resource. We're just going to take the one that's on top of that deck. So first of all, We know that we got a Midascore core, which is nice. That means we'll be able to make a better Titan eventually. And then we're going to see what resources we get in addition to that. Everything is slipping everywhere. Oh my lord. It goes there, this goes here, this goes here, this goes here, that goes there, this goes here. So we got 5 ambrosia. We got 1 living gold, and we got 3 cursed float sacks. So I don't know if we're going to be able to build anything with all that, but that's what we got from Max. We noted dead titans. We are going to have to shuffle this exploration card back into the exploration deck. Is there anything else that we need to sort out based on this? I don't think there is. So what's going to happen now is Greg's going to eat lunch. Greg's going to walk his dogs. Greg's going to apologize to the people that he's not seeing later today. He's going to clean up this fight. We're going to come back. And today we are going to do days 1 through whenever the next fight happens. And then we're not going to do that next fight. That'll be probably a long time from now because I'm only going to be setting this game up on days that I have at least 3 days in a row 3 days where I can play it, and I can't play it next Sunday, so probably not next weekend. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll feel special. But for now, unlike Amorphos the Logicbreaker, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and do not forget to keep your health bars full. Again, do not judge me for cheating playing this for players. I am trying to show the game to people who don't get this far, aren't going to get this far, and like just get my money's worth. And like, I'm sorry, I need to eat. All right. Thank you very much. Have a great day.